And we're very pleased to be joined now in the Business Breakfast by Morten Hofstad, who is the Regional Director for the Middle East and Africa at Luup, which is a mobile payment solutions provider. Morten, good morning and thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Now, we've got you in the studio because you've got a new mobile salary distribution system coming out. It's a new technical solution for banks that could fit in quite nicely with the wages protection system that we've been hearing so much about in the UAE recently. And the wages protection system, of course, has been brought in by the government to make sure that everyone in certain size companies gets their wages on time. It's done electronically. It's monitored. How could your new solution fit into that?
Well, Luup is a service provider to banks, and we've been around for 10 years. We started up as a pan-European financial institution for mobile payments. And recently, it's now a law. You cannot pay individuals cash in salary. And so what's happening today is that most workers is now going to get a payroll card or is already having a payroll card. And when they have a day off a week, they go to an ATM, withdraw this money, and then they go to an exchange house and remit those money back home. What we have done, since we are a service provider to banks, we are sharing our black box of technology with the bank. They're issuing payroll systems. So when the worker gets a salary, it can either be on a payroll card. And that payroll card can either be a plastic card or a mobile phone, which is a virtual card. So if you have a plastic card, we just mobile enable the card. So instead of spending the whole day going to an ATM, then withdraw the money and then go to an exchange to send the money back home, we have pre-registered the sender information and all the beneficiaries back home. So when they get their salary, you just do an SMS, Mama 123, for example, the amount you want to send, and the money goes immediately, instantly to India, Bangladesh or whatever, to a lower rate than in the market today.
What percentage of workers, blue-collar workers, don't have bank accounts? I'm guessing it's probably the vast majority.
That's the majority.
Do you know what the percentage is?
No, but 70% of the population in UAE is unbanked.
So using your solution when it comes in, and I understand it's going to come in a couple of weeks, they will be able to use a mobile phone and access money from an ATM without a bank account at all? Correct.
That service we launched actually 18 months ago with National Bank of Abu Dhabi. So I can send you money across the table. You get a SMS from me with a reference code. With that reference code, you can go to a National Bank of Abu Dhabi ATM and withdraw the money without a card.
So what is it you're bringing in the next 6 or 7 weeks then?
The international money transfer hooked up to it.
Right, so it will go from being a Dubai solution to an international solution, is that the point?
Exactly.
Who pays for the transfer?
The sender, as you do today.
And how much would that be?
Lower than in the exchange houses charging you today.
I'm sorry to throw these sort of hard questions at you, but I mean, what's the mobile phone penetration amongst people that don't have bank accounts?
It's 90% or 100%.
Sorry, let me just clarify. In the blue-collar community here, that work and live in labour camps and things, 90% penetration of mobile phones, even though we don't have bank accounts.
They all have mobile phones.
Yeah. Let me ask you a couple of questions about how it actually works from the money point of view. I mean, where does money physically sort of sit if it's just accessible through ATMs or whatever? I mean, if there isn't a bank account, who are those funds with? Who's responsible for those funds until they're drawn out?
Always with a bank or exchange house or another financial institutions.
So what's the difference between having a bank account and just having access to that money?
To most people, it's a threshold to open bank account. You have to deposit a few thousand dirhams and go through a lot of paperwork. But having a payroll card, you don't have to put a deposit.
And how safe is it? I mean, if you lose the payroll card or if you lose your mobile phone, could someone else access your money?
Well, again, the payroll system is linked to the remittance system. So if you lose your card, basically I lost my card here in Dubai and somebody picked it up and used it. If you lose your phone, all the sender information and beneficiary information is stored and pre-registered, so they also need to know the ID of how to send the money back home. And if they know the ID, well, in the worst case, they send money back to your mother.
So money can only be sent to certain places?
Correct. And to certain persons.
So if an employee goes to an ATM with the payroll card, I mean, what does that card link into? Is it just one great huge pot of cash, or does he have effectively a mini account?
It's a mini account.
And although this is really designed and it's part of the wage protection system to make sure that blue-collar workers get paid on time, surely the system is only any good if the company themselves, the employer, actually puts money into the payment pool for the workers to access.
Well, the corporates already have these agreements with the banks. So the banks are doing this today, or exchange houses. So they're just swapping from a plastic card to a mobile phone, which is in their world another card.
How much does it cost the companies to actually run the system?
Depending. The banks are charging the corporates. So basically small companies is more charged and bigger companies is less charged.
And who's working with you to do this at the moment? I mean, you mentioned one bank. What role are you currently playing in the WPS system?
We are bringing the technology.
The story ran last week that as many as 800 firms have been suspended for failing to transfer their workers' wages through the official wages protection system. That's according to the UAE Labour Minister. What were they suspended from?
I'm not aware of that.
When I say what role are you playing in the system at the moment, I mean, is your system, is any of your technology being used at the moment to distribute wages through the WPS?
Well, the whole system is new for payrolls, but we have done this for 10 years in other countries. We are a global partner to Deutsche Bank. We have launched 18 months ago with the National Bank of Abu Dhabi. We are at the doorstep of launching with exchange houses, other banks in Africa, Middle East and Asia. So we have the technology. We are not a financial institution, so we are working with financial institutions and designing a tailor-made system for them in accordance and compliance to the central bank regulations.
What are you doing in terms of tying up with other banks? I mean, are you in discussion with other banks at the moment? What's going on?
Oh, yes. Several banks here in UAE, several exchange houses is on the doorstep of taking this on board, and also other banks in the GCC.
Morten Hofstad, the Regional Director for the Middle East and Africa at Luup, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you.